welcome back to Sticks and Strings. I'm Naomi.
I'm Beth.
I'm Eve.
Do you remember that one week when we forgot to introduce ourselves? I don't remember what it was.
Beth has a tree in her face. I thought
Beth
that
has
was
a tree in her
short.
face.
Just move the tree just a little bit to one side or the other.
It's cute.
We have a bigger tree, and I thought I could put that big tree there with
It's
lights.
still in your face.
Yeah.
It's pretty. It's pretty for the picture. We don't want it in you. We'll put it between us like that. Or is that in my face now? That's okay. Well, I hope
Now it's in your face.
I hope your Thanksgiving went well. Ours was nice. Ours was really nice. So we didn't talk about who's going to go first. Can I go first? Just
I
because?
I can go last.
Okay, I'm going to go first just because I need to start another row, and I don't want to be in the middle of the row when it's my turn. Okay. The shawl. Did I finish it? The answer is no. Well, actually, I wasn't supposed to be finished. I was supposed to be ready to do the binding today. That was the original plan. But I did finish the major. Look at that.
Woo-hoo.
I finished the major.
I don't want to pull on this because I don't know
Just
how to pull
hang
on
it.
that.
Just hold it. You don't have to pull
No,
it.
but I mean, it's
fine.
That
It's
looks
just-
so cool.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
It's just the yarn.
Oh.
It went under the tablecloth. That's why it looks weird. I finished the major pattern area, and I put another of these red things. There's a small little mosaic pattern, and then the edge. So I am about 12 rows away from the binding. The binding is a bobble bind off, and it's going to take 100 years. And I'm making my husband mad just because I'm like staying up all night trying to get this done. I'm like, I'm almost done. But
just one more row.
it's really bad. I was up because I was like, I got to get through. When I finish this, part, oh, sorry about all the extra threads. When I finish this patterned part here, which I'll stretch it out so you can really see it. I was like, okay, I'm going to bed. And then I'm like, well, I could just do the colored thing, and then I'm going to go to bed. But it was a very bad hour when I finally went to bed. And I'm still so I'm hoping that while we're talking, I can get a lot of progress done.
And then you'll have to rip it out because you'll do it wrong because you're talking.
No.
That's what happens to me.
I know. But so I'm very close. I leave for Boston on Wednesday, early morning Wednesday. So my hope was to do the bind off today and then block it tonight, tomorrow, whatever, so that it had several days to dry. And I'm like, I can finish it before I leave, I believe, but I don't know if I can block it before I leave because it just takes so long. And then I thought, well, maybe I could steam block it, which would not wet it as much and which would cause it to not need to dry as much. But I think wet blocking is really what this needs so that it can really spread its wings. And then I thought, okay, well, if I have to wet block it on, God forbid, Monday, I could put a bunch of fans on it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to have to put it in the garage because it's not
huge.
safe from the cats.
Yeah.
And Hannah's bedroom is occupied, so I can't close it up anywhere.
Yeah.
So I have to put it. We have a 6-foot table. I'll put it there, put it on that, and then
And
put
unfortunately,
fans on it or
it got cold lately.
yeah,
if it was
it's
warm
cold
still,
because if it was hot,
dry
it would dry
faster.
like that. Yeah,
It was 50 degrees this morning.
yeah. So I'm just if I can get it bound off by Sunday night, I think I'm okay.
Except that we're
Still have
going to the
things to-
symphony tonight.
Yeah, we're going to the symphony tonight, and I have a husband who wants to talk to me.
Once in a while.
Once in a while. I know. So anyway, that's been my fiber life for the last I don't know how long now. But I'm committed because I'm so close to finishing this. I have to do it. I have to just get it done because if I'm 12 rows away,
you wouldn't want to wait till May.
Well,
No,
you can
and
sleep
then-
on the plane.
well, yeah, exactly. I could. And then but
As soon as you count on that, there's an infant on
but
the
I
chicken.
also have to work. I have to work Monday and Tuesday. This job, I swear, it's really cramping my knitting life. But But anyway, so that is all I have to say today. Literally, just working on this stupid shawl. It's beautiful. Actually, okay, hold on. Let me put these covers back on because I want to show you. By the next time we
Oh yeah, because you won't have
film,
it then.
we won't have it because this will be gone. But so you'll see pictures of it done. But this is the actual. Here, hold it. This is the way it actually goes. This is the top of the shawl that you would put around your shoulders, and this is the bottom border. So that's the orientation of it.
So beautiful.
It's the Yara shawl by Natasha Hornby, and I'm so proud of it. And that's the other reason I'm so excited to hand it to the woman because I love it so much. And when this thing blocks, it's gonna be gorgeous because it's like gonna really spread out and the patterns will be.
Be careful.
Yeah.
Wobbling.
You're getting a little enthusiastic there.
Sorry. Anyway, so that's me. I'm done now.
Okay. Well, I'll go then. So I kind of have a lot.
Good. Talk a
going
long
on
time because
here.
then I have knitting time that's uninterrupted.
Let me just stick my needle under here. Okay, so I think last week I showed the on the balcony was I hit my goal on that, and so I still have FFOing to do, but I waited on that because of Thanksgiving and all that. So I still have to get back to that hopefully this week because November ends on Thursday, right? So yeah. So I want to, hit my FFO goals before the end of the month, but no one will die if I don't do it.
Are you sure about that?
Step in a crack, break your mother's back. Don't FFO. I can't rhyme.
Oh, wait, before we go on, there's something I meant to say.
Yeah.
McDonald's Diet Cokes were provided by our aunt.
Yes.
I told her, you're our first Patreon. Actually, the second Patreon, because we got the initial gift card from one of our viewers.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So anyway, Diet Coke
not that we
supplied
have a
by
Patreon.
Money, as we
Yeah.
call it.
And they have
They have Christmas,
but non-matching, non-McDonald's straws because
I forgot to get straws.
Yeah.
It was me. I went in today.
But we
thinking it would be faster.
we have a cup full of random straws that left over from things, and so I just grabbed 3, and so
Well, inevitably you go through drive-through and they either give you no straws or
too many straws.
way too many straws.
Yeah. So yeah.
Okay. Anyway, sorry.
Anyway, so since I didn't FFO anything, I was just doing random stitching. So I stitched some more on Blackest Cat, which is the number 3 of this series, the Black Cat series season, and I got the beginning of the words, "May the blackest cat you've ever seen," and so right now I'm working on the next line, "Make you smile on Halloween," and so there's that.
You do realize it's Christmas, right?
It's not Christmas.
I don't care.
It's just barely Thanksgiving.
Yeah. And so then I had 3 new starts. This one, I think I talked about this last week, that they were, you buy the Jabco buttons and you get this little chart free. So this one is Not a Creature We're Stirring, is the name of it. So it came with this little stocking button and this little mouse button, and then the chart for this. And so this is one that I was thinking, oh yeah, I need some threads because I didn't want to dig around and I couldn't find them. But and so when we went unexpectedly to Hobby Lobby the other day, I didn't grab any of the correct threads. But I did find most of the threads. And this one is the one that had the option of, there were 2 shades of red for the on here, or the instructions say, or you could use Turkish red and not have to use the 2 shades of red. So I did use Turkish red, And you know, it's probably not quite the same as if you use two, you know, shades of red. You could have a distinction between the parts that were done in one shade and the parts that were done in the other. And with the variegation of the trick or shred, you don't get as delineated a difference, but you can see up close, you can see the color difference in that. And then there's these two long stitch stars up here in yellow, and then I had the one shade of green and I couldn't find the other one. It's just like that's the only thing that's missing is that, and then there's some back stitching to hang the. There's a few stitches that are the mouse's tail, and a long stitch of the black for the stocking is hanging. And I didn't do that yet because I still have to do the other green stitches, and that black back stitch goes between them. So when I find the other green color, then I'll do it. And then I went ahead and started the other one, the other little small that I had, Christmas small, Snowy Reindeer from the Frosty Forest. Oh, this is WIP-GO, this little design. This is Country Cottage Needleworks Snowy Reindeer from, I guess, their Frosty Forest series is the name of this. I don't know. I just got it, I don't know, at the attic or something. And all I did on this one to start with was this little snowflake. You can't really see it from here, but you'll see it up close. On the design, they used a button, a WIP-GO button for the in the middle for this middle snowflake that I started with. But I just went ahead and stitched from the pattern. They had it on the pattern. And the interesting thing about this is I have this little black thread just to mark the center. So I started down here on there's just a little white dot and then the snowflake. So I was doing part of the snowflake, and then at some point, I was like, falling asleep, waking up and stitching, and falling asleep and waking up and stitching. And so at some point I fell asleep, and when I woke up, I picked up this thing, and I had it upside down like this. And I was looking at it, and I was going, these stitches are all in the wrong place. Because
that means you need to go to bed.
Well,
That's a true sign.
She never actually does go to bed.
Part of the pattern is like, there's like 2 stitches, and then 3 stitches, and then there's diagonal lines. And at one point, I was looking at it, and I was going, these diagonal lines are wrong. They don't go right next to these. I put them in the wrong place. And so I took them all out. I took a whole bunch of stitches. Took a whole bunch of stitches out, and then I realized it's upside down.
Oh no.
That's why they looked wrong. Yeah, they were in the wrong,
to bed. That means it's time to go to bed.
No, that means it's time to fix it. So anyway, I finished the little snowflake. Then I'll take a picture of that so you can see it. And then so before I did that though, I stitched a lot more on this snowman, and I realized that I put his little arm in the wrong place. Or I didn't put it in the wrong place because I thought, is this broomstick too high or too low or whatever? Because the cardinal is attached to it, and I thought, I don't know if it's gonna, but it was all in the right place. And what it is that I left a stitch out of his arm, so his arm isn't quite as long. So it kind of interfered with where it hit the snowman. But I fudged around it, so it's fine. So I'm almost done with the snowman's body, and then there's still a lot of stitching around it to frame it. And this is Primrose Cottage Stitches Snowman 2023. So I worked on that. And then I also worked on the Beaver, which is the November number 11 in this series, A Year in the Woods by Cottage Garden Samplings. All these places all the same. Country Cottage something needlework blah 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 samplings. So this is Cottage Garden Samplings. The beaver is number 11. So on this one,
If you can hear that, sorry, there's landscapers outside.
This is the top part of the tree thing, and I want to go down next. It's this tree in the corner, so I went across the top here, and yeah, so I did all that across the top. This is almost to the edge of the design. There's like I think leaves or something here on the very corner, but so I did almost all the way across the top, except for the leaves. For that on that, I think I did that in 1 or 2 days on that. And then in the way of Happy Mail, last probably Monday or something. I don't know. We checked the mail, but is this right? Yeah. Copy of the Christmas issue, winter issue of Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher, and I really like that cover design, and some of the other designs in here are really cute. There's one punch needle that I really like that was really cute, and I can't find it just now, but there's a lot of really cute ideas in here, as usual.
Just be sure you don't buy them at the Jingle Ball.
Yes.
You need to keep that next to you at the Jingle Ball.
So, yeah, I don't remember which. There's a nice little thing from Stitching with the Housewives in here, real cute. And Vonna Pfeiffer has an ornament finish in here. And I think it's this punch needle. Yeah, this one. There's a little snowman. Really cute.
It is really cute.
Yeah. There's a little ornament and a birdie.
It's really sweet.
A titmouse, it says in the design. And there's this one from Twin Peak Primitives. It's really cute. But I really like, that's cute too. Where is it? This one here is cute too. Crochet-a-go-go. This little Santa Claus. Cute. But I really like this one from Shakespeare Peddler. This Teresa Bennett kit stitcher. This one on the cover. It's really pretty. Just have yourself a Merry Christmas. Yeah, it's just really cute. But anyway, so yeah, that was a nice little surprise. I still have to sit down, and I know, I have a million, what do you call it? Sticky note things, like the little skinny flags. I have a million of those things because I have a office supply fetish. And actually, when I used to work at Blue Cross, I always got them because they came like free with I think it was highlighters or something that I used to order regularly for our office, and there was a style that came with like free Post-it notes or something like that. So I have a whole bunch of like Post-it note flags of all kinds. I have the kind they're attached to a pen that you can peel off the pen holder, and then I have like all kinds of like little skinny ones, and all, So what I want to do, because of the problem that I had last year when I bought things at the Jingle Ball that I already had, is to go through and put all these little markers on my magazine so that I know, which ones I like, and which ones I have in the magazine, so that I don't buy them at the Jingle Ball. But yeah, so I've just been like doing all kinds of random starts, and yeah, so that's me.
Okay, let me fix what a mess I'm making.
While Eve is fixing her mess, I meant to mention that at one point in this yellow yarn, when you knit this row, it's 2 yarns at a time.
Mm.
And I'm knitting along in the middle of the night, middle of the row. Now this row is 451 stitches long. So it's really in the middle of the C. And one of the yarns, some of the plies are broken, and there's a single, like 1 or 2 plies holding on. So one of these yellow yarns is weakened, and I was like, what do I do? Do I cut it? Do I knot it? Do I stop in the middle? And I'm like, it's with its brother, and I'm just going to pray that when I wash it and block it, that it'll kind of like
Cling.
strengthen itself with its sibling there. So now I'm knitting back through, and I'm like, where was that spot? But I was like, I can't stop here. This is not going to work. It's just going to have to be in there and hope it doesn't fray. Sorry, Miriam.
Okay, so this is not undoing, so I'm going to have to talk to you guys about it and then undo it. Oh, yes, it's undoing. Finally. This is filament that I'm working with that I use instead of Krynic very often. And
Yeah, it's hard to make when you make a mistake with anything like that. But...
well, because you don't want to pick out the stitches underneath.
Right.
Yeah. So, but the other problem is that the first couple of stitches, you can't really see where you are, what you're doing. Okay. So this is 2023 Snowman by Anna Kobylańska of Swedenet. And it is in this cross stitch 2023.
Are you saying Sweet Annette?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Why?
Because it sounded like Sweet Annette, and I was like, what?
Okay,
Sweden.
so
Sweet.
I
Sweden.
am very, very close to being done with this. I would have been done last night, except it hurts my hands. And so I had been, after I finished the stitching on this, I had to put in there's little sparkly stars and X's and stuff. And so I was putting that in, and because it's so tight with the stitches now, you know, you're like, because not only, you know, I had to do all the black back stitching, and then I'm doing this. And I'm halfway done with the 3, and then I'll be done. Now, I did make a change to the pattern. On the snowman's face, and maybe I can take a close-up of the snowman's face. On the snowman's face, the mouth was the straight line. And I was doing the back stitching, and I was like, that is the maddest looking snowman I've ever seen. And
He's
so...
mad because he's going to melt. He knows he's going to melt.
I gave
when
him
the
a
sun
smile.
comes.
Oh, cute. Let me see
Yeah.
let me see the original photo. That's very cute. I like his smile.
Yeah, it's a very cute smile.
He looks pensive in this picture.
He looks angry.
You see?
He does.
Oh, yeah.
This is a little straight line. When you're drawing cartoons and stuff, a straight line is an angry mouth,
Yeah.
you know. And so I just kept looking at it going, I hate that mouth. And I was finishing the back stitching on the snowman. I was like, I'm going to try making a little smile instead.
Let
So,
me see it. Oh, it's very cute.
so
It's very
yeah,
cute.
because snowmen are not frowning. I watched Jack Frost the other day with Robert. If you haven't seen that movie, it's with Michael Keaton. It's pretty funny. Anyway, the snowman when he's melting and his expressions is very funny. Okay, so I'm almost done with this. And I did some more work on Peace on Earth, designed by absolutely cannot say Evdokia Nikolavia of Punochia. I don't know. And skill level says easy.
Yeah.
And it isn't particularly hard, except I always choose fabrics that I cannot see. So I think I mentioned last time that I added a little bit of blue on the
Snowflakes.
On the white?
the dove.
Uh,
For the snowflakes, I just left them white.
uh,
And there's a word peace down here that's in white, and I'm going to put the blue in that too. That's why you can see the dove and not the rest of the snowflakes. You can see the snowflakes, it's just only in certain lights.
Yeah. I can't see them.
Huh?
I can't see them. Yeah. Wow.
Part of me said maybe I should go through and do half stitches of the light blue. I added 775, and that's a really, really light blue.
Wow. Does it have back stitching?
No. So I am probably almost halfway through on this, and obviously I have to have my eyes ready to work on this. It's not something I can just pick up and do in any light. And I do have plenty of lights that I can turn on around where I am. I have a light that's like really bright and it'll shine down. And after my dad passed away, he had a light that went around his shoulders. I think Naomi gave it to him. Anyway, I've tried that one, and it's okay. But generally, I'm getting up and down so much, I don't want to do any of that. So I just have to work on it in certain light. But that's why I didn't choose to work on this right now. And again, I think I said it's in this magazine as well. I'm anxious to start the next one, so I may do that before I, right after I finish this, but before I FFO it and, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so set this aside
That's
for a
why
moment.
we're here, for the blah, blah, blah.
Set that aside for a moment. Okay, so when my hand started hurting yesterday, I said, "Oh, I'm going to pretend I want to do WIP-GO." And so I got this out. This is by Cross Stitching for Fun, and it's just called Snowflake Ornaments. By the way, I have to say that the two designers that I like in Ukraine, Cross Stitching for Fun and Stitchy Princess, they're Christmas patterns. They're in the midst of an occupied country right now.
Mm-hmm.
And their Christmas patterns are unbelievably beautiful. And I feel bad because I promised myself I would not buy any more patterns. I'm not buying any more patterns until I get through some of these others. So for WIP-GO next year, I am going to pick things that are done or close to done. Because, those things that you really, really, really want to do, you're going to pick them up and work on them whether they're on WIP-GO or not, So, anyway, I like this color of this fabric. And this is 25 count Lugana that I got at Hobby Lobby. I really like the color. I've worked on 32 count a lot, and maybe that's why I'm struggling with this, but I cannot figure out the square, and I keep getting it wrong. And so I was working on this snowflake over here, and I just ran out of thread, and I said, well, I'll just do the same one on this side. But to line it up, I had to start on the right instead of on the left, right? So I can't count over. And I got all the way down to almost where I am now and realized that I had the gap completely wrong in one place. I had just made it like this huge gap. And now it's not lining up where it's supposed to with the other stuff. And I'm at the point where I'm like, do I take it out and line everything back up? Or do I think it's lined up with the other snowflake on the other side. It's just not lined up with the deer. So I think the deer is like one half stitch too high or one half stitch too low, and it's making me crazy. Mm-hmm. Because I'm like, well, that's supposed to be right across from that, but if I do that, then the stitch isn't as high as it should be, and cross stitching is supposed to be a hobby, and hobbies are supposed to be fun. So I worked on it for a little longer, and then I said, I'm going to bed. And I want to finish these. They're beautiful, but if I'm going to start them over again, it's not going to be my filament that I took out before is everywhere.
It's not going to be on that fabric. Can I see it?
No, it might be on this fabric. It's just not going to, I'm not going to work on it like right now. I may go through and stick fishing line in it or something so that I have general idea of 10 by 10 squares. Mm. And it's just me. It has nothing to do with 25 count. I just cannot see it. To me, the space seems too big. I guess because I've worked on 32 count so much. And so I try to make it smaller, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's half a stitch. So, and I know something's wrong with that last row. So
that's what when I was working on it was a la-di-da pattern with the two cats on it. Mm-hmm. It was on a dark green linen kind of, and I don't remember it was not. I don't remember what the count was, but it was like I had to have it at a certain angle, and there was one time I was working. I picked it up to work on it. I hadn't worked on it in a while, and I picked it up to work on it, and I could not. I was like, I don't know what hole. I don't know which one it is, and I just like couldn't get in the right mode.
Do you guys ever trying to see something like that and your eyes go wagga wagga wagga?
Yes.
Wagga,
well, like,
and also to me the holes look really big. The individual holes to put your needle through. It's like, and I work on 14 count and 32 count. Mm-hmm. Why would 25 count holes be strange to me? But they are. We are very close to starting the very last line.
Oh wow!
Of this, and then of course I have all this down here, which this part down here will be on WIP-GO
for 24.
It's
almost 24.
When I do the border here to start December, I may just go ahead and start trying to do this. And when I bought this design, it says my year in temperature 2023, and then she put Grand Canyon, which I'm assuming the designer lives up in the Grand Canyon, which is why she would have purple in her designs. Kristen Howe. That is not the name of the designer. It's designed by Kristen Ashley, Sapphire Mountain Handcrafts. So the mountains up north called Sapphire Mountains?
No.
I don't think so.
Here's my ripped. See, look. Here's my frayed. My frayed
Ooh,
piece of yarn.
Can't you just put a little bit of glue on it?
Oh, and look at this. See, this is the other half of the plies. I don't know what to do about it. I'm hoping it'll just kind of blend in.
Okay, so we had the temperature on Friday, Saturday, Sunday was 72 degrees. And then it went up for 2 days. 79 or something. And then it went back to 73 degrees for 2 days. So...
And for us, that's sweater weather. And especially in the mornings.
Yeah, I didn't. It's not 72 in the morning. It was 50 this morning. Okay, so here I am, and you can see the whole week is basically the same color, with the exception of 2 days. But we are getting into the more cold colors that we had some of those up here in the April area, March and April. February, March, and
I was
April.
going to say February is our coldest.
Well, January was our coldest, but these 72 temperatures.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
We had a lot of 72 temperatures in January, February, March. So, but in March, we only had a couple of days that were colder than that. Anyway, I'm liking the way it looks.
Let me see. Aw. Wow.
Oh, that
All that
angry
dark red. Yeah.
This line of all that really dark red. Well, the 4 month, oh gosh, we had a really hot summer this year.
Yeah.
It didn't get as hot as it sometimes gets, but it stayed hot for longer. I mean, it stayed up in the 3-digit numbers for a lot longer. And still, I like living here better than I liked living in snow.
Yeah. So my coworker moved from Vail, Colorado. She's like, no
Melting?
more snow. No more. No, she's like, I'm so happy to be here. No more snow.
Like we say, you don't shovel sunshine. It has its own challenges, but
Yeah.
when I was in Belgium, it was cold the entire year. I wore t-shirts maybe 2 weeks out of the time I was there, because I was cold otherwise. Now, part of that was that we rode a motorcycle,
Yeah.
but it rained almost every day, and I thought I liked rain until I moved there, and I was like, "What do you mean it's raining? I don't care." Yeah. When it's every day, nothing is ever dry. Nothing is ever dry, and I don't mean downpour like we get here, where the skies open up and a deluge comes down, and then 5 minutes later it's gone and the ground is dry, and But because of the damp in the ground and everything, when you'd ride on the motorcycle, you'd be so cold. And then being snowed in and all that, I was just like, I am so done with snow. I don't want to live anywhere where it snows. Albuquerque doesn't count because it snows, but it's gone by like 10 o'clock. But that's why I moved to Florida. But then it was hot and hurricanes and weather. And if you live somewhere where there are severe weather things, the worst we get here in Phoenix is dust storms. And it's hot in the summer for a few weeks. Yeah. We don't have hurricanes, we don't have tornadoes, we don't have earthquakes, none of those things. So I really like living here. But I was always, when I saw the temperature charts, I was always like, it's not going to be that big a difference.
Right. I was always like, it'll be boring.
Yeah. And then I pick a year when it's not boring.
I think it never is boring, but I think it's just that we don't
We have
realize
we have the sense that it is.
Right, because we're just like, it's hot in the winter and it's still nice it's hot in the summer, and then we don't think about all the varying things we go through in the winter.
Right.
Ish and spring and all that. But
Yeah.
there really are only 2 seasons.
Hot and less hot. Well, I say it's 3. I say it's Chamber of Commerce weather, construction season, and pleasant winter. During this time of year when it's not cold and it's not hot, every road in town is.
What did I say? I did a post on Instagram once. It was like, what do you mean Arizona doesn't have 4 seasons. From like 6 to 10. I have to look it up because I figured it out. Like on those days when it's really hot. When it's mild, you get all these temperatures because it's cold in the morning. Let's see if I can find it. I
was freezing.
Here it is.
We don't have the heater on yet.
I
so
said,
was
who says
freezing this
Phoenix,
morning.
Arizona doesn't have all the seasons? This is March 2nd. 10 p.m. to 10 a.m. is winter. 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. is spring. 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. is summer. And then 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. is fall. And that's the way it goes. And that's
It's like that most of the year.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Because it's pretty cold at night. And then by midday, you're like,
Well,
oh, yeah.
that's why
hot.
people who come here in the summer end up getting in trouble in the mountain, because Phoenix has tons and tons and tons of outdoor activities everywhere. We live next to a mountain that has hiking trails all the way around it. On our side, on this side, on the other side, tons of hiking trails. It's not a huge mountain. It's called a mountain. It's really a big hill.
It's a dirt clod.
It doesn't have very much vegetation. Anyway, and the vegetation it has is more like cactus. Anyway, so people see all these hiking trails, and the weather is absolutely stunning at 8 a.m. even in July. And then it gets really, really hot really, really fast, and they don't take enough water, and yeah, so.
When I lived in Little Rock, it was, of course, it's very humid there, and there's a lot of water. There's rivers and things, but there's no beach. And I thought, if it's this humid, there ought to be a beach.
There ought to be at least some water.
An ocean. There is a lot of water, and people, go boating and things like that. But it's like, you ought to have a beach and the waves and the ocean if it's going to be that uncomfortable. Because, in the summer, it was just really... Well, and that's one thing that when I went to graduate school in Indiana, I'd only ever lived in Albuquerque. And when I went out there in the spring to audition at IU, I thought it was so beautiful. It was like springtime, and it was rainy weather, and in Bloomington it was very green, and then all the trees were wet from the rain. It was kind of rainy weather, and so all the tree bark was like black from the moisture from the rain. Mm-hmm. And so you had this. It was very vibrant green growing season. So you had this beautiful combination of bright green and black wood, and it was just gorgeous. And this sort of gray, cloudy sky. It was beautiful. And I thought, oh my gosh, this is so gorgeous. And then, so then I went there in the fall, and it was nice. It was humid, whatever. But then when it would rain like nonstop all week. It would go down to a drizzle, and then it would rain, and then it would go down to a drizzle, and then it would rain. And I'm like, how is there this much moisture in the sky? And everything feels damp. All of your paper, feels damp, and your...
Yeah, when I went to Boston, New Mexico girl I was, so used to dry, climate, I'd pick up a piece of paper and I'd tell my friend, this paper's wet. And I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, I had that in Florida too. It's like,
it's
they're
wet.
Like, it's not wet. They'd touch it and they'd go, it's not wet. And you're like,
no,
oh, I assure you it is.
This is wet paper.
Yeah. And when my friend went there he was there the year before I was, and he said, he was saying, one thing you'll need is an umbrella, a good umbrella, because in Albuquerque people had umbrellas, but you didn't really use them.
Or make sure you had it with you
Yeah,
all the
you
time.
carried it around like a talisman, against the rain. If you carried it, it was sure to not rain. But so, and people had umbrellas like stuck in the back of their closet or whatever, because if it's raining, you just wait a few minutes and it'll stop raining, and then you can go about your business. But in Indiana, it would rain nonstop, and so it was good to have an umbrella. And people who didn't have umbrellas, because we were all students, people in college, walk around in rags, whatever, you know. And so these people would come, you know, didn't have umbrellas, and they'd come to class like a wet dog, you know, but you know, but yeah, it was important to it was good. It was the only time I really, you know, used an umbrella all the time until I moved to Arkansas.
So you know, when I lived in Belgium, as I said, it rained every day. And we rode a motorcycle, so I never carried an umbrella because I was going to get there wet no matter what I did, right? and I'll tell you, when it rains on you, it's only uncomfortable until you're actually wet. And then it doesn't matter because you don't feel the rain, right? So in Florida, it does rain a lot. It's the only place that has more thunderstorms than Albuquerque, I believe. Albuquerque has a lot of thunderstorms. I mean, lightning thunderstorms. And Florida has tons of them. And so it rains a lot there. And people would stop on the sidewalk to not walk into the rain. And I would just go, I just walk out to my car because I was so used to being wet all the time. I didn't care. And I didn't care about taking an umbrella or anything. But I tell you, living here, I want my umbrella if it's raining.
In Boston, when I was in school there, I was like, how is it possible that rain is... I have an umbrella, and it's raining, but I am still getting soaked. Because in Boston, the wind is going between the buildings like that, and the rain just comes up into your umbrella with you.
I remember one time I was walking... I had an umbrella, and this is when I lived in Little Rock, and I'm walking with the umbrella, and I'm like feeling drips on my head, and I'm like, what's dripping? You know, how is it getting through? And so I finally, at some point, I guess when I got in or something, I looked at the umbrella, and it had like a little slit on the top of it, and so the water was like, you know, accumulating on it and then dripping on my head.
Oh, and art shows in Florida, because it would rain a lot, you know, and I had one of those canopy things, and they're not built for rain. They're built for sun. Mm-hmm. So when it rains, the rain accumulates there, like all of those disaster things where the snow brings down the rain accumulates and starts dragging the thing down. And you have to have something long, like a big long pole or something, and periodically just push up the thing so that the rain will go down like that. Mm-hmm. Because if you don't, at a certain point... it just starts dripping in a little line down the middle of that thing, and you end up getting soaked, and so do all your product and everything. So you got to have that stick to keep poking it up in all four corners.
Technical thing. A poker stick.
I remember once it was raining so hard at SeaWorld that everybody was closing up shop, you know, but you couldn't pack up and leave because it was raining so much. So we packed up and got ready to go and all that, and sitting around freezing to death. When you're wet, that's why I didn't like it, you know, to be, you know, just sitting out there in the wet. And the wind is, you know, up and all that, you know, it's cold. And so I said, I think I'll go walk across to one of the, we were across there's a lake in SeaWorld, and I think it's connected to the waterways or something. I don't know. But there was a lot of seagulls around, and this lake was not something that they had the animals in, as far as I know. But anyway, we were on this side, and the food stuff was on that side, and I went across the bridge to go get it, and I got one of those hero sandwiches, and it's hermetically sealed. I mean, it is just wrecked, right? I'm walking across with my tray to take it back to my booth, and I got dive bombed by a seagull, and it hit that sandwich, and the sandwich bounced off, and I was like, ah! And I looked, and my sandwich, it's not even cracked, the plastic, because they wrap it like that because they know the seagulls are going to go after it. I thought the seagull was going to hit me. I mean, that guy dive bombed that thing, and they're floating around going, these stupid humans, they've got food out here for me if I just wait.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, the other morning I was coming out to go to work, and I saw the biggest hawk I've seen in a long time, just floating over the neighborhood.
Looking for rabbits.
Get your,
Looking for cats.
get your kitty cats inside.
There's a lot of bunnies out right now,
Yeah.
which
Oh my
makes
gosh,
it more dangerous for your animals, by the way.
So since we've morphed into stories, the other day I have two traffic stories. The other day, Eli and I were going to work, and we're on 3rd Street, which is a small little street near downtown. And we were sitting at a light, honestly, really for no reason. There was no cross traffic, and the cross street was very small, almost residential. But we were sitting at this light. Now, I was sitting going south, and there was one car sitting going north, and we were just sitting there. And then all of a sudden, this black Charger comes up from behind the car on the other side and just goes around him and goes through the intersection.
I had people do that all
I'm
the
like,
time.
and I'm the one that gets a ticket. Like, that's what I keep saying. Like, the cop is there when I do something wrong, and granted, when I got my ticket, I was wrong. But I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
And then I thought, wait, it was a black Charger. Maybe it was a cop.
Yeah.
But still, like, come
Yeah.
on. At least go whoop whoop, so I know you're a cop, but that's why you're running the red light. But because we have like what do you call it?
Smoothies.
Yeah, smoothie cups in Dodge Chargers of all things. So I thought maybe that's what that is. But and then I was on 7th Street, and there was another person who just ran a light for no reason. Like, or just turned left. Oh, yeah. I was sitting in the turn lane, and it's one of those turn lanes that has a red arrow. So you cannot turn unless it's a green arrow, right? And he just decided
That
I'm
didn't
just gonna
apply
go.
to him.
Yeah, didn't apply. Like, okay, all right.
I was
Have
in
fun.
Albuquerque, at the bottom of
But I guess I'm just like, there are people out there who don't care that there are red lights.
Yeah.
at the
That's
bottom
like,
of at the bottom of Irving, that chevron that was cross Coors.
Yeah.
I was heading on Coors toward the other freeway, right? And I was waiting to turn in there to get gas before I went up to the house. And I was waiting in the turn lane. The light was green, but there was a lot of traffic on Coors. There's always a lot of traffic on Coors. And I did not feel safe turning in front of them, because Coors Road is not a freeway, but it still has a high speed limit. But it's wide lanes,
Yeah.
a lot of traffic, and the cars, it's 55 or something, but the cars go like 80, and semis, tons of semis. And you do not want to turn in front of that, because, they can't stop. Anyway, so I was waiting to turn, and I was part way into the intersection, and a car came around behind me and turned in front of me, and I swear I thought he was going to get hit by 3 cars. I was like, you need gas that bad? Are you on E?
Well, yeah. So like everybody's done the thing where, for some reason, your brain doesn't recognize, oh my gosh, that's a red light, and you try to stop, or sometimes you accidentally go through, whatever. Everybody has experienced that feeling, but these people I saw were like just blatantly like, yeah, red light. I'm just gonna go anyway. Like that. Like, oh my gosh.
Yeah,
People-
I read something. It was talking about how in civilization, when you have traffic laws, everybody sort of agrees.
Right.
You know what the traffic laws are, because as you take a test when you're driving, whatever. But there's nothing to stop you from running red lights and running stop signs and things like that, except that we know that there's sort of a social convention that says this is what you do under these circumstances.
Well, but you can also, it's not just social convention, because you can also get a big fat ticket.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean, though. But I mean, like, you sort of agree that we're all going to stay on the right side of the road, or we're going to do certain things, and like, you know that we all agree, and we'll make laws and we obey to, slow down for this
keep
light
from
and
killing
stop for
each
that
other.
light, and all these things. So the only way you can maintain order is everybody agrees to do the thing, and that's why we have laws, because whatever. So, and most people, like you say, accidentally break a law, or accidentally run a light, or whatever. But then, there are people that just blatantly say, well, I don't care, and then just do whatever they want to do. And that's why you end up cities that have 40,000 cars, going side by side and making their own lanes and things like that,
Well, there's a YouTube guy, Fridays with Frank, and he is in the Santan Valley. And I watched one the other day. That's a part of Greater Phoenix. I watched one the other day where he shows his traffic stop, and he's like, "Do you know why I stopped you? You were going criminal speed in this, whatever he says." And he says, "I need to see your driver's license and insurance." And you can't hear what the guy is saying. He goes, "You don't have any insurance. Okay, I still need to see your driver's license and your registration." I think he said registration the first time too. And he said, "Car's not registered." Okay, and your driver's license is suspended. All right, why are you on the road? and then he says something like, "No, you can't drive this car home. You're not taking this car anywhere. This car is getting a ride to, and the thing is that that's why our insurance rates are so high here. Yeah. To insure against people who are just blatantly breaking the law."
Yeah. Oh, I saw one of those. Must have been.
By the way, if you haven't watched Fridays with Frank, it's hilarious.
There was a. What was it? Not Live PD thing where they responded to an accident where this kid had wrecked his car into a light pole. He and his friend, and were not injured or whatever, but the light pole had fallen, onto his car. And so the police were there, and the rescue whatever, and all this. And so the mom of the kids, the driver showed up, and the kid was 15 and did not have a license. No. But they had bought this car for him for his birthday or something like that. And so, we told him he's not supposed to drive it because he doesn't have a license, blah, blah, blah. And the cop is like, "You bought him the car. He doesn't have a license. He's going to drive it because you bought him the car." Right. Oh my gosh. It's like don't buy the kid a car that he can't drive and then say, "Oh no, you can look at it, but you can't drive it." Because chances are he's just lucky that he and his friend weren't killed.
Even if he was gonna get a permit in 6 months or something, because you could get a permit at 15 and a half, right? That's probably what they were thinking. But it's like
it's like the kid doesn't have a license. He's gonna get behind the wheel of that car, license or no license,
And the thing that people don't realize, and you don't want your kid hurt, but your kid might hurt somebody else. Mm-hmm. And if you bought your child a car, and even if it's fully insured by you, if they are driving without a license, that insurance means nothing.
Because they can't even be on the insurance.
Right. And so I bought Robert a car when he was young for logistical reasons, just so he could be to sports and stuff like that on time, and because his school started so freaking early in the morning, I always had to drive him. Anyway, that didn't mean that I bought him the car before he got a license. Right. Mm-hmm. He got a license first. Right. You're supposed to do it. Mm-hmm. And he drove my car first.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, so Thanksgiving just happened.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And I want to go officially on record to say I have the best husband in the world. But he had a Thanksgiving disaster in my stead.
Oh dear.
So I brine the turkey every year. I've started to now. It's like, what, the third year, fourth year I've brined it?
By the way, I didn't like the fries turkey as much as I like the butterballs that you've made. It was okay, but you know.
Are you complaining about my turkey?
No. I just find the other ones you've made absolutely better. I think it has to be the
pretty
turkey
darn good.
because it was good. It was very good.
Oh,
Ours
not
is gone.
dissing my turkey, but okay. Anyway, I thought it was good, but anyway, so, I had this year. I used my Remarkable tablet, which I've shown here in the past, and I created a whole schedule of like what I need to do on what day, and then on Thanksgiving Day, I started with when I wanted to serve dinner, and I backed it out when everything had to happen, because I also wanted to make homemade bread, and
Which was absolutely fantastic and was
Yes.
almost gone before dinner.
and so I knew I needed the oven for that. So when does the turkey come out and the bread can go in, and when do I have to make the bread so it has time to rise and all that, because it rises for an hour and then it rises for half an hour and then blah blah blah. So I had it all scheduled, and we had a 20-pound turkey, and I was going to brine it, and it was like not more than 20 hours and not less than, I think it was like 10, I think. So because I had to work the day before Thanksgiving, I was like, when am I going to get it? Because I need to put the turkey in the oven at noon. Maybe I really could have put it in to brine that on Wednesday morning. Probably would have been okay, but I was worried it'd be too long. So Mark was home that day, and I was like, can you just, if I get the turkey ready in the bag and ready to go, can you put the brine in? Because you have to make the brine and then cool the brine, and put the cooled brine in the turkey. You can't put it in straight off the stove, right? So I made the brine the night before, and I put that on the fridge, and I got the turkey ready the night before. And I was like, can you put the brine in the turkey bag and seal it up and put it back in the fridge at noon on Wednesday? And he's like, yes. So I had cleared the space next to the sink, and I'm not making fun of him, because I have done so many stupid things, like disasters, Thanksgiving disasters. I was thinking, like, what disasters have happened at Thanksgiving? Anyway, I cleared the space next to the sink, thinking that that's where he would do the deed. But he put it on the stove, just because it was like empty space. So he put it on the stove, and he was filling it with the brine, and the bag, because it's just a giant Ziploc, basically, it tipped.
Oh.
And brine went all over the stove, down the sides of the stove, on the counter, onto the floor.
Oh my goodness.
Not all of it, right? But it
No, but
feels
it's
like a
still
lot.
a mess.
Yeah. And so he had to pull the stove out and clean, and he did.
You finished it?
Let me see. Oh wow, it looks so cute. So you don't stitch the little holder, those little things, the little hangers inside?
No, I have to cut a hole there. And,
I see.
Well, there is a hole there because you stitch around the hole.
I see.
I have to thread, what's it called?
So does it hang like this? In
Yes.
the loop? I see.
But I have to put sticky
Wow.
felt on the back.
That's so nice. Wow. Congratulations. That's beautiful.
So
Even though
pretty,
it's not
so
really
cute.
puffy, it looks puffy.
It's
you know?
because of the shading.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
That's cool.
But anyway, I felt
I'm
so
very
bad
happy.
for him. That's cool. I felt so bad for him, but I was like, he's like, I'm sorry, and he cleaned it all up, but didn't realize some of it had gone inside the stove. So when it was baking, you could smell like a little bit of a burnt smell. But he's like, I'm so sorry. I'm like, what are you sorry for? I'm the one who was putting a pumpkin pie in, not this year, several years ago. And I used to have these shallow little pumpkin pie dishes. And you know how you just all of a sudden have a muscle spasm, you don't know why. And I was putting it in the oven like this, and like trying to balance it, because it was really full, and just blew into a hot oven pumpkin pie filling.
Done
So
that.
I'm like, we've all had disasters. Remember when we made, was it
SpongeBob potatoes?
was that Thanksgiving or
No, it was New Year's.
Ouch.
We made like the worst, most salty potatoes ever, which we called SpongeBob potatoes because they taste like the briny sea. And then I had a friend who was supposed to come. She couldn't come after all because she felt ill, but I made a lentil loaf for her. She's vegetarian, and I wrote to Hannah, and I'm like, my friend's coming. She's vegetarian. What should I make her? And Hannah's like, make this lentil loaf from New York Times. And I was like, okay. And it was so complicated. And I made it. I experimented with it on Mark, like the week or two before, and it came out good. I thought it was good. It's very has like a grit to it because it's lentils, right? So it's lentils and carrots and onions, and you cook everything, and then you put it all in the processor and blend it together with eggs and oats, and that makes a nice binding, and it creates a little loaf. But if you forget the oats on actual Thanksgiving Day, it turns into kind of a crumble. So
The oats might have changed the flavor too.
No, everyone's saying I don't like it, but we liked it anyway. She would have liked it if she had been there. And you make like a cucumber and yogurt dressing, which I maybe I didn't make that salty enough. The first time I made it saltier, and it was really.
Yeah, I was gonna say it wasn't very tangy. I kind of expected.
Well, there wasn't.
It to be tangy,
There was no lemon in it. I
Yeah.
expected there to be lemon juice in it, but there wasn't. So that was kind of a bust. But
So was my pumpkin bread. Cracker bread, pumpkin cracker bread. I was telling them, I was talking to you, and I said, I'm sorry I hated your lentil loaf. And she said, I'm sorry I hated your,
your pumpkin bread.
and I was like, I hated it too, so that's okay.
Well, I was gonna say
We have plenty of other food.
nobody ate my Bob and Larry salad, and nobody ate my cheesecake. So
I ate your cheesecake.
oh,
I ate
I'll
I
eat your
ate
cheesecake
your
right now if
cheesecake
there's
this
any left. It was good. No, the reason I didn't eat your
So
cheesecake
full.
was I was so full.
yeah, I was very full
And Rachel brought two really
because
delicious
I didn't
dishes.
really even eat much of the Bob and Larry salad.
Yeah, I
had
tried
like
to
a
eat it,
spoonful.
and I was like, oh, I think I don't like this. I think I remember. No, it's totally fine. But, and then, because
yeah, that stuff that Rachel made, I don't even know what it's
the
called.
Nantucket
Yes.
thing, the casserole, oh, man, it's so good. It's all the best things. Eggs, corn, cheese. I mean, come on.
Well, the green chili,
Huh?
the green chili corn too.
Yeah.
It was good. It was just, it would have been better
And then
with the ones they
the
did.
sweet potatoes that Rachel brought were so savory and yummy, and everything was good. And your mashed potatoes were good, and I didn't eat enough of them. I want more. And then
I had to freeze half of them. Nobody ate them.
we just didn't.
I made so many.
We had so much food.
I know.
We always do this.
I cut a whole bunch, and I was like, okay, I think that's probably enough. And Robert looked at it and goes, you need more.
He wants to eat mashed potatoes forever.
He just really likes mashed potatoes.
No, I know, they're really good.
Sorry.
So we had so much food that I was like, I'm so full. And I wanted to try my pumpkin pie, which is why
That's the one thing I didn't try either.
I tried your pumpkin pie because I didn't make one yet.
my pumpkin pie came out good.
Yes, it did.
Even if I say so myself. And of course, Rachel's brownies, everybody had to have those.
I didn't have those either.
You didn't have one of those?
I did not. I had
Well,
hardly
they're
anything.
gone. Yeah. Yeah, I ate a brownie, I ate pie, and then I had, even though I was dying, I ate a piece of your cheesecake. I'm like, why am I eating this?
Because it was good.
And that
good.
game, that game we played, that was so fun.
Yeah.
And I won.
Yes.
Yeah, don't say anything loud. The dog doesn't like it.
Oh.
She's like, shut up. Yeah, Beth and Robert won. It was good. It's like a betting game called Wits and Wagers. Look it up.
It's very strange. Very strange. But I think Peyton enjoyed it too. So she was partnered with Mark. So
Yeah.
that was fun for her.
What do you mean it was strange? It wasn't strange. It was just a game.
No,
You're
when I say it was strange, I mean like I had never played a game like that.
Right.
Yeah, he gets all these cool games.
Yeah.
Because when we were first talking about it, she kind of was like, I said, don't, because she was like trying to, I said, don't worry, it's going to be fun. Mark picks all these weird fun games.
Yeah, he likes he likes games, and it was fun. It was a lot of fun. I'm glad we got to do it. And so that was our Thanksgiving. It was nice.
And you know,
Pleasant.
honestly, to have the resources, to have so much food,
Yeah, we're blessed.
we are really blessed. Because it's certainly stuff that others
Oh, remember?
don't have.
Okay, the funniest Thanksgiving story. Mark was praying and thanking God for the food we have, and he said, he acknowledged that many others don't have food. And when he said, we realize that many don't have food, our cat Calvin goes, meow. Which made us all crack up. Because he's used to saying, "Do you want food?" He asks the cats, "Do you want food?" And so I think that's why he responded that way.
I was going to say, I think that
He's
knows
like,
the word
"I don't
food.
have food. Nobody fed me yet."
I have
What
to
about
worry.
you? Oh, get your claws off the shawl! Get your claws off the shawl! Oh my gosh, I love you, dog, but don't do that.
So I tell my
I'm
cat,
always
that's
having
what I
this-
tell my cats. I'm going to kill you. I'm going to beat you with a stick.
Oh, yeah, but they know you never.
I don't know what they were doing that was frustrating me, and I came out and I said, I'm gonna have to kill me a cat. And I said, and that little dog too.
Just for fun. No, but that was funny. Calvin's like, "Meow. I don't have any food. I'm one of the people that doesn't have food because you haven't fed me yet." So after he finished praying, he's like, "All right, come on. I'll feed you now."
Snug always acts like he's starving to death because he hasn't eaten in the last 2 minutes.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. No, but I do have the best, most sainted husband because he helped me so much this year.
Her husband is not one of those that lets her slave all day while he watches football or, sits on the couch talking or whatever. He makes sure she has everything she needs, and a lot of times she's like, "Nope, I'm fine. Leave me alone."
No,
But-
he's great. He, and
Yeah.
he even told me, he's like, "You worked your butt off, and everything was great." He was so sweet.
Yeah.
And we watched football while we got everything ready, and it
Yeah,
was
but
fun.
he doesn't think that it's
No.
woman's work and doesn't help you.
No, he's very helpful.
Eli was in there in the kitchen
Oh,
helping
yeah.
set the table and get the
I'm
ice.
blessed with sweet. And Hannah called right towards the end while I was getting the turkey ready and everything. She called and video called and just was on the phone there on the counter and seeing everybody and talking to everybody. And she's like, "I'm here for the vibes."
What did
So
she do
that
for
was fun.
Thanksgiving?
She had a Friendsgiving, I guess, last night, and then I think she has another one while I'm going to be there. I'm not sure. She's got a friend thing on Friday night, but next Friday night. But she had a Friendsgiving with people, and so that's what she does. So it was good. Oh my gosh, these rows are so long. They take forever. I'm never gonna get done.
Okay, so this pattern, I've been wanting to start it, and it calls for 3 colors of satin floss, and little strings are hanging out of this. Can I find the end? No, I cannot find the end. I can't pull on one of these strings because it's not a full thread thing. It's driving me bananas. And it calls for 3 colors, one of which doesn't exist. It's probably one of those that when she designed it, it existed, and it doesn't now because there's not even a slot for it.
Oh no.
That happened with a cross stitching for fun color that they stopped making it. And I am like, okay, if I keep playing with this, I'll find the end. Apparently not.
Oh my gosh. Well, okay, so before Thanksgiving, I was like, now see, I am making mistakes because I'm talking. Before Thanksgiving, I was on a rampage. Well, long ago, I had that big event at night, remember, and I went and bought an outfit for it. And as part of that, I bought a coat, a blazer, because I was trying to find one at Penny's, and I was looking for like suit coats for women, and apparently I forgot that they're called blazers, although that was a word my mother used all the time, right? It's like, oh, it's called the blazer. Anyway, I bought one to match the pants I bought, but it's like a designed to be long, which on me looks like I borrowed my dad's coat on Sunday morning at church, when you're 5 and you're wearing dad's coat. That's what it looked like on me. So I have to return that. And because I bought it and I wasn't really sure. And then when I got home and I'm trying it all on, even Mark's like, it makes you look shorter than you are. And I'm like, yeah, it's dwarfing me. So I have to return that. And then I was on a tablecloth rampage because I wanted new tablecloths for Thanksgiving. And I was like, well, I could do this. And so like at Fry's, they had a beautiful one, but there was only one. And I have 2 tables. And then I really wanted that one, but there was only one. So then I'm like, well, Fry's had those plaid ones that I actually wound up buying, right? But I was like, well, those are kind of nice, but maybe I'll find something else. So Eli and I went to Target. We went to Walmart. We went to Hobby Lobby. And I found at Hobby Lobby a table runner, but it was only exactly 72 inches long, which would have gone like end to end instead of over the ends the way runners are supposed to go. And there wasn't anything longer. But I found 2 of them and I really liked them. So it's like, but I don't want just, because it would be okay on our wooden table, but on the fold-out table, it's just ugly plastic. So I still need a tablecloth. So I was like, well, if I got a plain white or off-white tablecloth, it would look nice. So then we were looking for that, and I found them at Walmart. They're like cream, but they have a little bit of glitter in them, gold glitter. And I thought, well, that'll look okay, I guess. And then I went around and around and around and around in my head, and I bought some cloth napkins that matched the runners. And then I wound up I was back at Fry's, and I was like, you know what? I like these green plaid ones. the cream with the green and orange. They're real pretty. So I bought them, and I'm like, I'll just return the other thing. So now I have to go to Hobby Lobby to return the runners, and I have to go to Walmart to return the tablecloths, and I have to
go to Penny's to return the blazer.
and I have to go to Target to return. I tried these. I keep trying to find new stocking hangers. I'm unhappy with the one. Well, I bought some pretty ones, and one of them broke. So we have 3, and not a 4th to match, and I can't find it. So I have to get 4 new stocking hangers before we decorate the house. So I tried these that are like cantilevered. They're like just flat, and then they're supposed to like kind of come under the mantle. But our mantle is like too big anyway, so that's a disaster. So I have to take those back to Target, and I have to take the blazer back to Penny's. So I'd like to visit every store known to man today. Well, I don't have to go today, but that's on the agenda for today.
Well, because of the change in temperature, I have to go get my tire looked at.
Oh yeah, and we're going
And
to
everybody on the in Phoenix is going to be there checking their tires because everybody's tire warning went off.
Right, I
off
didn't
today
get one because I got brand new tires.
Well, my tires aren't old. It's just
I know. I'm saying I didn't get one today.
change in the season.
But anyway, and then we're going to the symphony tonight to see the symphony play the music to Encanto. That'll be fun. Eli's never seen it.
We don't talk about Bruno.
Let's talk about, we don't talk about Bruno for 1 second before we go. If any of you are familiar with Mozart's operas, there's where he'll like start one person singing about a particular thing, and then somebody else comes in and they're singing about their thing, but
it might not be the same.
But it goes
thing.
together,
yeah.
Right? And then a third person comes in, and then a 4th person. So he builds on that, and they're all singing their thing at the same time, and it all goes together, but they're singing individual things. And that is what We Don't Talk About Bruno is.
Yes.
And that's why I love it.
I think that's one of the reasons why it is one of the favorite songs of that movie for most people.
Yeah.
I just love the movie. I've seen it over and over. We tried to watch Robert and I love to watch the Santa Claus every year. And we watched the first 2 because we liked them, but we wanted to watch something just for a little while we were waiting for you. And he tried to watch the Santa Claus 3 because we both knew neither one of us cared if we watched the whole thing, right? And it wouldn't come on. It said it had a licensing problem.
Which one is that?
The Santa
Martin
Claus,
Short?
yeah, the one with Martin Short on Disney, and then
Oh.
none of them would play.
Oh, weird.
So
So that means Santa doesn't like you.
I guess I don't know.
I watched Christmas with the Cranks.
Yeah, we watched that one.
You gotta watch that around Thanksgiving, right?
Yeah,
I love that movie.
we watched that one, and we watched.
It's a Wonderful Life.
3 minutes ago, I was a genius. Yeah, well, now you're an idiot. That's my favorite line. Christmas with the Cranks.
Yeah,
Well, now you're an idiot.
I need a bag for this. I've worked with satin DMC before, and it's beautiful. But
Oh, wow. That's pretty. Well,
Oh.
that's,
I just stabbed myself.
but I learned that if you want it to look like the other threads, you cannot double it. It looks weird. You have to do one thread at a time. And it'll look like it's a doubled thread. Because it's so much fatter.
no.
Oh, you know, you're talking about movies. This is not a Christmas movie. But
No, we're only talking about Christmas movies.
on I watched it on Prime, but it's actually on Freevee. Is a really good movie, a Western called
Free.
the Homesman with
Homesman?
Homesman, 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 with Hilary Swank
I
and
think
Tommy
I've
Lee
seen
Jones.
that. I think I've seen that.
It's so good.
I
Oh my
think I've
gosh!
seen
And the
that.
Three Crazy Women.
I'll have to,
There's
it sounds familiar.
yeah, there's three women that
Don't tell me the
that
story.
basically go insane, and so she agrees to take them back east to a church in Iowa that's
Oh, wow.
going to take them to, I don't know, the insane asylum or whatever, that's going to take care of them. But she's basically going by herself until she comes across Tommy Lee Jones, and she sort of
I think I have seen that. Maybe. I don't know.
but it's really good.
yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's really
Yeah.
good. And it
So-
because you think it's going to be like this, but then it's like this,
Yeah.
and then it's like, you know, it's just really good. Sad and serious and good. Really good.
So we
Christmas-
also watched The Bishop's Wife,
Oh,
the
that's
original one.
Yeah. And yeah, okay, so now it's Christmas time. I want to look up The Family Man. That's another favorite Christmas.
Yes, that's a good movie.
It's
I saw that.
That's
that
basically
the
It's a
other day.
Wonderful Life modern.
That's
with
the
Nicolas
one
Cage.
that I was thinking that Nicolas Cage looks like Robert.
Well, let me
But-
tell you, Nicolas Cage's new movie,
I
they
haven't
pop
seen that one
on.
yet.
They pop on. I think it's for TV only. I don't know.
What's it called?
I don't
know, but everybody's dreaming about him, and he. I hope all of that stuff is makeup, and that's not what he really looks like now, because
He plays like he looks like an older bald guy.
yeah,
Oh, really?
yeah. I don't know what it's called
Oh.
because I find the ad
just-
annoying, so I get rid of it as soon as possible.
I've just seen pictures of stills from it, so I haven't seen the ads for it or what I think. So,
But, yeah, no, it's time to watch Family Man. And
yeah, that's a good movie.
I told Mark the other day, I'm like, I want to plan a day to decorate so that we're not like, hey, you want to get a tree? Okay. And then like, oh, okay, let's pull the stuff out and take 3 days to decorate. I'm like, because we used to have all the time like an actual decorating party, like just the four of us or whatever when they were little. And so we're going to do that. We get snacks and music and do it all at once. And so I told Mark, I want to, because last year I was a
Robert was
mess.
asking what we were doing today, Beth, because he says he feels jolly.
Yeah.
He wants
Yeah,
to decorate
so that's
outside.
fun. Yeah, and I bought new lights for the outside.
But
Well,
he
did
wants
you
us
notice
to-
that we have new LED lights on our Palo?
Yeah, I
Yes.
saw that. You
Yeah.
looked very festive for
Yeah,
Thanksgiving.
We got those. So then I bought new LED lights for the roof edge. So we're gonna.
Yeah,
do
I was
that.
really surprised last year when he was really enthusiastic about like putting all the lights and
That's good.
Well, he said this 5 days off of work. He goes, I don't have anything left to do.
so yeah, that you know it because it's complicated here to to put lights and whatever, but we have one of those little projector globe
Projectors?
things that
Yeah.
for the garage to project things on the garage, and then we have lights, but we don't have any really good places to put them. But
Okay.
so they were
To be
like,
fair, none of us want to climb anything.
yeah, and so. Well, Robert's the only one who could climb, and it's just a hassle. But I think we did like lights.
He bought a snowman.
Yeah, and we put
No,
lights.
a Santa Claus.
Yeah, lights. Yeah, our drunken Santa Claus. But we put lights like just around the yard, like to make them, make it look like a.
On the
Yeah, but he said he wanted
outlining.
us to be home so that
Yeah.
if he falls off the ladder, somebody could call 911.
That's true.
Our neighbor across the street has all their lights out and their
Yeah.
all their decorations out. So yeah.
All right. Well, I am gonna get ready to go because I gotta run those errands
And I gotta go check on my car.
and you gotta go get your car checked. And I'm halfway through a row. Maybe
Well,
am I
if
So are
Robert-
we meeting
did I make
here or
it
at
up?
your
Almost.
car? At your house?
My house.
Okay.
And I'm almost halfway with row number. Oh, I did number 2. I'm 10 rows away. And then the bind off. Do you think my husband will divorce me if I do nothing but work on this tonight?
No.
Okay.
Rogue wants to get in
Hi.
the video.
I'm almost done. Oh, you can see her little face. There she is. Hello. All right, we got to go. Thank you so much for joining
Yes.
us. Happy
you.
decorating and getting ready for the holidays.
Yes.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.